Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Emma M. Lyon Volume 4 Wrap Up Live. Hope everyone is having a good Friday. Hi, Teresa. See you. Welcome. Hi, Laura. See you as well. I feel like it looks very bright in here and it's very sunny today, but it's not actually all that warm or as warm as it has been the past few days here in California. So, hi, Marilyn. Let's see, I should start. Marilyn's here. Hello, Craft. And Sarah is here. First live. Yay. Welcome, Sarah. And Gloria's here. And Jenny. Hi, Jenny. And Jamie is here. Hi, Jamie. And Lori is here. Welcome, everyone. So glad you guys could all make it. Thank you for the date change accommodation. My son's school had an event last Friday, and so I had to reschedule things. So, hi, Kelly. Welcome. I'm so glad you made it. Yay. I'm glad that you're here. I feel like Volume 4, there's lots to chat about, so I'm glad all of you could make it. Oh, Marilyn, you finally caught up with the series. Fantastic. How are you liking it? How did everybody enjoy Volume 4? I feel like this one took us through all the emotions, like funny scenes, just poignant, almost heartbreaking scenes with Emma. I feel like this is really one where we get to have a lot of empathy for her in a different way than we have in the earlier volumes. Yes, Marilyn said tears for sure. Oh, yes, just that was a tough one though. The whole finding out about Maxwell and his being, reburied in England and all of that. Oh my goodness, yes. Laura says Volume 4 was the best so far. Yes, I definitely think this is one of those series where it increasingly ramps up as we go along. Like just each volume builds on the previous volume. And, every time I'm like, oh, this was so good. And then the next one is just that much better. But I just think it's because we're getting to know these characters better. We're getting to live in this world more and for a longer period of time. And I just think that just adds so much to the story. Yes. And Kelly said she teared up too. Yes, this one gets me, this one. Yeah, Jenny said each one gets better and better. And yeah, absolutely. I just think such a good series. Laura says, I passed the first 3 on to my sister and have mixed feelings about handing them over. You better have said, these have to come back to me. So yes, I know this is a series where I'm like, I don't know if I could loan these out to someone. I might just be like, I'll buy you the first one for your birthday or something because I don't know if I could hand them over. And now I have, marked them all up, especially because I've been rereading them for these. I've been making notes and different things. So they feel very close and personal to me now. Marilyn said the friendship demonstrated by her male friends was wonderful. Yes, in this one, we really get to start to see the sort of grouping of Emma and Islington and Niall and, oh my gosh, why did his name just go out of my head? Who's our favorite vicar of all time? Why is his name gone out of my head? Hawks. Yes, just love that. See, Jamie said loved it. It did run the gamut of emotions. Yes, I just really feel like we got put through our paces in this one a lot more than I think in some of the prior volumes. Laura says I couldn't loan it out. I know, right? I'm like, no, mine. Get your own copy. Yes, Hawks. Thank you, Marilyn. Oh my goodness, where's my brain today? It's been a long week. So, um, yes. So overall, we're all feeling like good. Yes, we're enjoying the series. Anyone have anything in particular from volume 4 that you want to chat about? I have a few. We've been introduced a little bit more to some characters, and we've been introduced for the first time to also a couple of characters. Mrs. Penury, whom I love. I think that's how you say it, Penury. But I just feel like there's so many good characters. We're really getting this big sense of this community now that she's got surrounding her. Kelly said, thought I would enjoy this series from your description, but I didn't realize how much I would love it. And I feel like that's what everybody says. I mean, it's such an unassuming looking little book. And yet it has such life to it. I think that's one of the things I really love about this series is that if the characters feel alive to me, like they feel like they could be real people. And it's very visual and very cinematic in the way it's written. Like I think it would make an excellent like mini series or television show, just the way Beth Brower has created this world. Like I think I see it in my head. Though I think I'd probably have strong opinions about casting if they made it into a TV show or movie. So, oh, Laura says, I still say not enough Jack. Hang on to that thought. I think you might get your wish in some upcoming volumes. Again, I kept thinking it would be what it would be like as a miniseries as well. Yes, like I just have this, like I can picture St. Crispian, like my version of St. Crispians in my head and what that looks like and what the buildings are like and just how all the characters look. I feel it, I feel like it's all up in here. Like there's this whole world that I've created in my mind from the books. Kraft says, my favorite Aunt Eugenia quote, an appearance of pleasing stupidity prepares a woman for marriage. I need to start keeping a list of like the best Aunt Eugenia quotes. I mean, like Emma I feel like I could mark the entire book with her little quips. She's so witty, but Aunt Eugenia just comes out with some zingers and she's so funny. And I feel like you get even more of that in her relationship with Emma as the volumes go along. And so, yeah, she's just one of the best characters and she's very complex, which is really nice. She's not just like, some evil aunt or something. She's a little more nuanced than that. Okay. Jamie says, yes, you've got the next book sitting there ready to read. It's always one of the first reads of the month. There is volume 5. And I've been saving my reads because I want them to be like fresh in my mind when we have our discussion. So it's been like my little treat for like the last week of each month that I get to spend time in St. Crispians with Emma and all her friends. And it's just something I look forward to at the end of every month. So I read volume 4. I finished it yesterday. No, what's today? Yeah, yesterday. No, Wednesday. I started it Sunday and I finished it Wednesday. And it's so hard to put down. So hard to put down. Let's see. Kelly says, one of those books where the setting feels like a character. Absolutely. Beth Brower is really good at setting and at creating a world, like that world building that needs to happen. Like I know volume 1 maybe isn't as like plot driven and exciting as some of the subsequent volumes, but I do think it's essential. It's sort of, like in any good series, like you need that foundation to be laid for, the setup of the series, of the characters, of the place, of the time, of what this world is like. I think she did a really good job in volume 1 of doing that. So even if that's not, like our favorite volume in the series, I still think it's an essential volume that has to happen in order for the rest of the series to be successful, so that you don't have to keep she doesn't have to keep explaining every volume. She can just kind of build on what she's already created. Marilyn, I was floored as she took the stage at the dance hall. How amazing was she to carry off that off as a comedic act? Yes. I had forgotten that she did the whole like comedy bit. Like I remembered she got pushed onto the stage, and then I had forgotten that I knew she sort of like made the whole thing a mess, but I didn't remember that she was able to make it seem a little bit like it was supposed to have happened that way. The one thing I think we can say about Emma is she's very good at thinking on her feet. I think that's what I really like about her, because I am not that person. Like I never think of the right thing to say in a given situation until 6 hours later. And then I'm like, oh, I should have said blah, blah, blah. It's too late. I feel like Emma always has just the perfect thing to say, the right move to make, the right facial expression to have. Like she's just nailed. She's dialed in. Yeah, and then Jamie agreed with Kelly about that, the book where the setting feels like a character. Yes, absolutely. Craft reads them twice, once at the beginning of the month and again at the end to refresh my memory, but I'm also able to capture more of the nuances of the characters. Yes, and I definitely think on reread, I'm getting, more of those nuances and details than I did. The first read, you're just, I was just sort of turning the pages as fast as I could. Because I just didn't want to put it down and I was so immersed in the world. But now I feel like I can really see things that I hadn't noticed before. I think I had forgotten as well, and we'll talk about this more in a little bit, but when Niall goes with Emma to Maxwell's burial and that whole thing, like just some of the small moments in those scenes, just really, really great. And I hadn't remembered that from my first reading. Marianne likes how Emma talks to Beth about it's okay to share her journals. Yes, I love that too. I love that it's sort of this little tongue-in-cheek, like breaking of that fourth wall, and talking directly to the audience. It's like I love the oh gosh, you can't see it. It's way too bright. The inscription at the beginning where it says, Emma M. Lyon would like to dedicate her journals to all those who have the presumption to read them. She understands the temptation to do so. Right? Because it's just so tempting. I mean, she should know she read Islington's journal. So she's, shouldn't be throwing stones at us for reading hers because she read his. It's hard to put somebody else's journal down once you start getting into it. So, Teresa, my library just got in volume 1. So tonight I begin my Emma M. Lyon journey. Oh, you have so much to look forward to. I'm so glad that your library is now stocking Emma M. Lyon. I know we should all get our libraries to try to get these volumes on their shelves because they're so wonderful. I think so many people would just love them. And I think they're not what you would expect. They're more than what I expected them to be, even though I thought I would like them too when I started hearing about them. But then they've sort of, exceeded all my expectations. Kelly says the books are so tongue-in-cheek in general, which is part of the fun. Yes. And I think it's so well balanced because, it could just be, a lot of really silly over the top fun. And while there are those moments, I think Beth Brower does a really good job of balancing that out with, sort of the serious aspects of Emma's life and what's going on with her and her financial situation and her relationships with other people. So that's a hard line to walk, I think. I think it takes a pretty skilled writer to do that. And so I appreciate her skills as an author. Megan said, I've started to wonder if Aunt Eugenia's ask of Emma to help with Arabella's search for a husband is a roundabout way of showing her affection, keeping her close without being on the nose about it. Oh, that's really interesting. Yes. And I also feel like, I do think Aunt Eugenia wants to help Emma without sort of having to do a lot of extra work. she's given Emma this whole new wardrobe. Even in this one, she's getting a new winter wardrobe now. And I feel like she wants, Emma is part of her family, and I think she does want her family to maintain a certain standard. So she can't let Emma like sink down, and not live, sort of take the family name through the mud. She can't do that. So I do think Aunt Eugenia, is maybe using this as a way to, I think that's interesting. I'm going to have to think about, because she does have affection for Emma. So I think that's definitely part of it. I think she wants to teach her and wants to make her a successful member of society. But I definitely think I agree. I think there's affection behind that as well. It's not just, she's using Emma completely for selfish reasons, I think. And I think we see that even more as the volumes go on. Oh, yes, Teresa. So much good stuff coming. Oh, Shell is here. Hi, Shell. Yay, you made it. Volume 4 was terrific. Yes, all of the humor was just so good in this one. And I do. Let's see. I wanted to talk a little bit because I think we get a little bit more. I'm just pulling up the character list so I can take a look at it. But first, before we move on to that, Laura had a comment, which I think this is a good question. Do you think Aunt Eugenia feels some guilt about Emma's years with cousin Mathilde? Well, she should. Everybody should. That sounded terrible. I that's a very good question. She might have a little bit of guilt. Deep down inside. Very, very hidden. I mean, because, I do think Aunt Eugenia is, puts Aunt Eugenia first and her immediate family, her children, Arabella in particular. So yes, but I think there might be some guilt there. Because, just some of the sort of offhand comments that she's made to Emma, I do get the feeling sometimes that there's a little bit of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like coulda, woulda, shoulda, kind of a thing. Like she wasn't able, I forget exactly now I'm blanking on exactly why she didn't take Emma in. I feel like there was something going on. Now I can't remember what. If anybody remembers, refresh my memory. But yes, I do think there has been some indication that maybe she doesn't think she handled that situation the best way she could. Yes. I would agree, Megan. I think Eugenia also has a hidden soft spot she doesn't want to admit for Emma. Yes, absolutely. I concur 100%. And again, I think we will see more of that as time goes on. All right. Okay, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of it, right? Okay, we've asked this question before. Which team are you on? We've got Islington, we've got Hawks, we've got Niall, and we have Jack too. Let's not leave Jack out of the mix. So we've got four gentlemen in the offering for Emma's heart, potentially. Who's your favorites right now? As of volume 4, who is your favorite love interest for Emma? And then I'll share mine after you guys have shared in the comments. So. Oh yeah, Marilyn said, so many questions about Pierce, Hawks, and Islington. They all three have some mystery about them, especially Pierce. Yes, Marilyn, 100%. I think each of them has something that you don't fully get a full sense of everything about them. You don't really know them entirely. I think we're being given little tidbits about each of them, but there is something that's being held back about all of them. Pierce, for sure. I mean, that's obviously, I think that's very obvious. I mean, he's got this injury to his leg that causes him to limp, and something has happened there that he clearly doesn't want to talk about. He's had all these experiences photographing the war. And we got to see that he and Maxwell actually crossed paths. That was really interesting. But yes, he's definitely got some, I don't want to say skeletons in the closet, but he's definitely got some dark things that I think have happened to him in his life. But he's also like he's clearly a good person. Like, I love this whole thing about he gets the basket for his mail because he's going to be, Emma's like, that seems a little excessive. And then by the end, she's like, okay, maybe a basket was a good idea. So clearly he has friends and people who, enjoy him and like him and have, ongoing correspondence with him. And, he has relationships with a lot of people. So he's clearly got something positive going for him. But yes, there's definitely a dark side there. Okay. Let me go back, because now we've got some thoughts coming in on what team we're on here. All right, so Kraft's on Team Niall. Niall shined in this volume. He really did. He really came through for Emma in this one. Gloria says she's Team Niall also. Oh, Laura's got a ranking. Oh, first is Jack, second is Hawks. Two very different men. Yes. I mean, of the four, Jack is probably the most not upstanding of them all. He's the bad boy of a bunch of bad boys, really. Like, none of them are just like, angels with their halos shining over their heads. They've all got something. Hawks really keeps it all close to the best. Like, he does not give a lot away. I love how he just vanishes suddenly. Like, he's 1 minute he's there, poof, next minute he's gone. Oh, we've got to vote for Islington. Kelly likes how much he challenges her. Yes, he definitely does. Marilyn also says Hawks. I think she's attracted to him. Yes, I think she's attracted to all of them in some way or other. Yeah, but yes. Shell is still on Niall Pierce's team, but pondering Islington. Yep, I can see that. Ginny is leaning towards Niall, but Islington's a close. All right, so we've got like kind of Niall and Islington. They're neck and neck for both of you. Oh, Jamie says, I like them all. Don't forget Roland. Oh, yes, there is Roland as well. Are they, I mean, and this doesn't really matter because no, maybe it was in my Jane Austen Live, one of them, we talked about the whole cousins marrying cousins, because I think she and Roland are cousins, but it's apparently it's all copacetic, so you can marry your cousin. So yeah, we can't leave Roland out of the mix. I feel like Roland's like the brother she didn't have, though. Like, he definitely feels more like a brotherly character than the other four men do. I definitely get that sense from him. Oh, should we throw her unintended intended into the mix? I kid, but what is his name? Is it Charles or something? What is his name? Charles something other? I'm blanking on his name. Is he in our character list? Let me see here. Yes, Charles Goddard. Tall, skinny flagpole, my unintended intended. So, anyone vote for Charles? Yes. So, Shell says Roland. Yep. Oh, yeah, Lori says, makes me want pen pals again. I know, right? Plus, I love it. I love how she and Niall pass their little notes through the wall. I love that. That's like one of my favorite things about these books. Megan says, I'm partial to Pierce. They've had so much time together living in the same place. But the further the story goes, I think the age difference and amount of life lived may make them not a great fit. That's an interesting insight, Megan. Yeah. Yes. And I'm forgetting now because I don't know which of the four of them is closest in age to Emma. I kind of feel like maybe Jack is. And I'm not sure Pierce is the oldest. Marilyn says, are you talking about Charles? No, we're not gonna put Charles on the list. No. I'm kidding. Yeah, he sounds just the worst, isn't he? Let's see. Kraft says Pierce was able to give Maxwell back to his family and to Emma with his photograph of him at a happy moment. He gave Emma back to herself with the photo with the cat. She saw herself happy. I know. Isn't that just like, oh, so much love for Pierce in this volume. He really shines in this one. Just being such a support to her when she's going through such a hard time, and just knowing that, asking her a lot of questions. He doesn't ask her a lot of questions. He just lets her be sad, lets her be angry, lets her be whatever it is she needs to be in that moment. He doesn't, force on her to tell him what she's feeling or what's going on with her. He just accepts it because she's his friend. And, he clearly has some feelings for her, whatever those feelings might be at this point. And he just is just there. He's just like a rock for her when she needs it most. And so, yeah, that was just lovely. And I love how they come back and Islington's there at the train station and he takes them back to his house and she falls asleep on the couch and they're all just chit-chatting and just letting her sleep. And then, they have some food and it sort of, their just normalcy kind of helps bring her back to life a little bit after this, that feeling when you've just like cried out all of your emotions and you just feel just wrecked by that. And I feel like they allowed her to like rebuild her strength in that space where she felt safe and protected. And yeah, I love that whole section of this volume. So good. Yes. And also that that Niall walked and walked and walked with her. Yes. Despite his leg that, he clearly, when he does go for long walks, it clearly bothers him. And yeah, he just, the things that you do for people you care about, you just set aside your own pain and power through it for them. Yes. And his defense of her when Maxwell's father attacks her. Oh gosh, I do kind of, wonder, like, so much animosity towards Emma from the father. And I'm not 100% clear exactly where that all originated from. But yeah, I mean, I was glad that Pierce stood up for her. And I like how she kind of walks through how in her mind, she's sort of, how you play out scenarios in your own mind of what I would say and do if I was confronted with this person again. And so she's kind of played that out in her mind, how she'd deal with Maxwell's father, but like nothing that she came up with in her own mind compared to what Niall said to him and, how he handled the situation. But yeah, I was like, that's a lot of animosity towards a young girl for, I'm not sure why. Let's see. Laura says, I do wish we saw more of Emma's female friends. That's my only complaint of this book. Yes. And I mean, the men are definitely central. I think that kind of continues to be the case, though we do get some more of Mary in particular as time goes on, and even Arabella. We did get some more with, and I'm blanking, Sophronia March. I love Sophronia. I love that Emma has this sort of, slightly older woman in her life who is just, I mean, talk about living outside of societal norms. I mean, Sophronia is just doing her own thing and living her life. I mean, clearly she has some money to do so, but I feel like she might be the person that Emma could grow up to be. And I think that's what Emma's drawn to about her. Was it just that the father wanted an heiress? Because his level of animosity, it was just like, I mean, if it was just that, it would feel like, oh, you again, could you just go away? Why are you still around? But he's just so like, oh, angry towards her. It felt such a strong emotion for just, oh, you don't have a title or money. So yes. Okay. Ooh, you guys are coming in fast in the comments. Let me catch up here. See, Kraft says, but I don't think any of our three musketeers have romantic feelings for Emma. If they had, they would not band together to protect her. There's no competition or jealousy between them. Interesting. I mean, definitely at this point, it does seem like it's a lot of just friendship for all of them. Though I feel like with Niall, I feel like with Pierce, there is just a little something more going on both of their parts. So, but maybe because the other two, like Islington and Hawks, maybe for them it is, they don't have those feelings for Emma. They just see her as a friend. I mean, Islington is just past maybe seeing her as a foe. So, and Megan commented about Laura's comment on the female characters, that it's interesting that the females in Emma's life aren't playing a bigger day-to-day role. And, that's really kind of interesting because the one thing I was thinking about in this volume that occurred to me was how much Emma's father kind of wanted to raise her slightly unconventionally, like not as he wasn't as tied to, oh, we need to turn her into a proper young lady, whereas it feels like her mother definitely did. She's telling the dad, it seems like in a number of the scenarios that we've been shown, like, oh no, don't tell her that, she can't do that, you don't let her say that. So the mom is trying to, like, we need to, make sure Emma grows up to be a proper young lady. And the dad's like, oh, give her a break. It's fine. She's fine, And I wonder if all of that is kind of plays into why she's more drawn to men than she is to women. Like, I just feel like these men in her life are playing a more significant role. And does that somewhat have to do with her father? Sort of a flip-flopped Oedipus Rex. What's there is a female version. What's the Electra something? I'm forgetting. Oh goodness, my classic literature is escaping me at the moment. So, but anyway, just food for thought. Yeah, maybe her relationship to her father might have something to do with that. Let's see. Oh yeah, Jenny said that Maxwell's dad wanted someone else for his son. Yes. Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. I'm not sure if we ever get any indication that there's something else there that also was bothering him about Emma, or something had happened. I don't know. I can't remember. We shall see. See, Kelly says, I think the men are playing such a big role in the book because it shows how independent Emma is, that she has male friendships like that at that time. And that's very much true, I think, as well, Kelly, right? Like, she isn't a conventional woman during this time. I mean, she definitely marches to the beat of her own drummer. And, she has very modern sensibilities for someone from 1883, which I think works because of the world that Beth Brower has created. Because if she had just tried to create a very realistic 1883 in England and London, I don't think Emma's character would work as well as it does. But because we know we're not quite in the real world, and it allows a certain amount of like leniency in the structural society that Emma is a part of, because of these things that are happening in St. Crispians. Like, St. Crispians is almost like like a world that, I have a cat who's trying to get into my room right now. He's not happy. I might have to get him in a moment. But Huey, it's okay. So anyway, yes. So I feel like Emma doesn't walk the same line that a conventional female would in a, say, regular like Regency romance novel or something like that. Let's see. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Jenny. He blamed Emma for Maxwell going into the army. Yes. So that's some of where the animosity comes from. That somehow, I'm not sure how, Emma convinced Maxwell that, he should go into the army, which doesn't sound like it was the case at all. But yes. Even Emma's female mentors are quirky. Mrs. Penury and Sophronia are unconventional. Absolutely. And she's definitely drawn to, of the women in her life, she's definitely more drawn towards unconventional women than conventional. I mean, we could look at Arabella. She's fairly conventional. But even still, I mean, she's just going to marry whoever's richest and let her mom figure it out. She doesn't really have any, desire to be in love or any of that. So she's a little bit maybe unconventional too. Jamie says, well, the women in her life have been hateful for the most part as well. Yeah, there is that. There's been a lot of not good women. Well, I mean, definitely Matilda. Okay, hold that one moment. I shall be right back. I have a cat who needs to come in. Such a stinker. He's going to want to come out again. Come on. You're such a stinker. Want to come say hi to everybody? Come here. Let's see if I can get him to come up here now that he's come in. Come on. Let's see. And Laura says, the disappearing objects to later be found keeps us realizing that this is not quite normal 1880s London. Yes. That and our ghost friend. Yes. Here he is. My big giant baby. Yeah, he doesn't want to be held. Yeah, I definitely think we have some elements going on that make us understand that St. Crispians is not just a normal 1883 part of London. Yep, Huey is here. He's right here. He's not really showing himself, but I know you want to sit on my lap, but that's not really going to work right now. Oh, crap. Arabella annoys me. She's so superficial and gets a few digs into Emma. Oh, I'd like to know what everybody else feels about Arabella. I hadn't really thought of that. She doesn't bother me. Like I like that I feel like she and Emma, they have that sort of like bantery relationship you have with somebody that has been in your life for a really long time. So whether that's a sibling or a cousin or something like that, they have that kind of a relationship. So, but yeah, is anyone else bothered by Arabella? Well, yes, Huey gets all the love. He's our little love bug. His sister Ivy is a little bit feistier than this guy is. Buddy? Yes, but you're a lover, not a fighter. He just wants to be on a lap as much as he can. Let's see. Kelly says, Arabella is complicated. I think she actually supports Emma. Emma supports Emma. I'm almost... and understands what her mother is. Yes, I think that Arabella definitely has Lady Eugenia's number. She knows exactly what her mother is like. And, she's just, I think she is on a path of least resistance with her mother. Like, she's just like, she doesn't care particularly who she marries. She just wants to have enough money to do what she wants to do. And so she's just letting her mother do what her mother wants. And, she'll just go along with it. So, yeah. Laura says, I think Arabella knows what she wants out of life and a rich husband will help her get it. Yes, absolutely. That's 100% what I think Arabella is like. But I also think she wants to, like, I think there's, that's just sort of, like I was saying, that kind of bantery cousin sibling type relationship that she has with Emma. But if push comes to shove, I think she's going to be on Emma's side, and she is going to, fight for her and make sure that Emma is okay. I don't think she's going to leave Emma out to dry, in any way. I feel like, if Arabella gets a lot of money and Emma were to lose her house or something, that Arabella would help her. So, yes. Anyway. All right. Well, we've been talking for, oh gosh, almost 40 minutes now. So let's because last time I completely forgot to do the reading sprint and then we didn't do it until very late. So I'm going to get at least our first one going here. I brought a couple of books, which I might read a bit from. Huey wants me to pet him and not show you this book. I'm reading The Corner Shop by Elizabeth Cadell, which I'm very much enjoying. If you like things like D.E. Stevenson and those kinds of books, I definitely recommend this one. I have the large, I didn't realize this was a large print book, but I'm actually kind of liking it. And then I shared this on my Instagram yesterday or the day before. This is brand new. Thanks to a few of my subscribers on my channel told me about this book coming out, The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. And it is an epistolary novel. And it just came out the other day. And I got my copy and I have started it, and it is really lovely so far. Very curious to see where this is going to take us. But already she has written to people like Anne Patchett and Joan Didion, as well as like fictional characters in her own life. Like she has a brother, and the protagonist is an older woman. She's in her, I feel like she's in her, I don't know, I want to say 60s or 70s. And she lives on the East Coast. Where does she live? Because Rhode Island, maybe? I want to say something like that. It's escaping me. I don't know. Anyway, so yes, but she has children. I think her husband has passed away, and quite a while before the book begins. Anyway, and we're just getting all of her story through letters, and yes, it's very lovely so far. So, okay, so let us. I'm going to pop this in here real quick. Laura, we'll chat about this when we come back from our reading sprint, because I think this is a great question. Wondering if Arabella ends up with one of the guys like Islington. That is a really interesting question. All right, everybody put your thinking caps on, and then we can share what we think about that question when we come back from our sprint. So let us sprint until, let's go until 10 after. We'll go until 10 after. Let me get things set up here. I have an ASMR room set up. I don't think it has ads, but I can't be 100% sure because I don't trust these things anymore. So apologies if ads come up. I will try to get them off as quickly as possible. Let me get the banner going. So we'll read until 10 after. There we go. And let me get this. Okay, everyone, we will come back, chat a little bit more. Okay, getting the hang of turning everything on and off after these sprints. So many things to remember to do. Okay, so I'm going to put up Laura's question that I put up right before we did our sprint, which is wondering if Arabella ends up with one of the guys like Islington. Anyone have any thoughts on that? That is an interesting idea. I mean, I don't know how Aunt Eugenia would feel about, well, aside from Islington. I mean, I think Aunt Eugenia would be fine if Arabella married Islington, but she would not be fine with her marrying any of the others. That is clearly not in the plans. I don't know. I mean, anything's possible. We still have quite a ways to go in this series. For anyone who wasn't, I can't remember if it was our last live or the one before, we chatted about, I believe the series is going to cover 4 years of Emma's life. And each volume is 2 months. So I can't do math, but that's a lot of books. Still hoping that book 9 comes out before September so we can all read it together, because how fun would that be? Marilyn says he lives close to Emma, so that would be cool. Yeah, then Arabella could live near Emma and they could see each other all the time, right? That would be fantastic. I think Emma would definitely benefit if that ended up being the case, but I don't know. I can't even think. Have Arabella and Islington, have they even sort of crossed paths that we know of? I mean, I'm sure they know of one another, and because they run in the same social circles, but I'm trying to remember if we've had any like actual interaction in the books between the two of them. I feel like we haven't really. Other than maybe just a brief, how do you do kind of a thing. So that's an interesting question. So if anyone else has other thoughts, let's see. Kelly says Arabella would marry Islington because she wants a rich husband, but I don't see why he would marry her given his love of banter. That is true. Although I do think, I think Arabella can give a little bit of banter. Not as well as Emma. But yeah, I don't know. Would they be perfectly well suited for one another? Probably not. I think it's hard to say. I don't know I don't think Arabella would be well suited for anyone. I mean, she just doesn't seem to care who she ends up with. So I feel like I want more for Islington than a woman who doesn't care who she marries. I mean, if the two of them fell in love, that would be different, but I wouldn't want her to just marry him under the circumstances she's planning to marry whomever it is she's going to marry at this point. So, because I like Islington too much for that. I want better things for him than an Arabella who just wants to be married to someone with money. So switching gears entirely, because I just love Mrs. Penury, and I started to talk about her and then I think I got distracted. So I'm going to go back to her now because I think she's a fantastic character. Excuse me while I adjust my blinds a little bit so I don't have stripes on my face. Huey's back. She doesn't speak. I mean, that is a strong position to take, to never speak again to anyone. I mean, wow. I don't think I could do it. And then I had marked, it's on page 78 in the paperback edition, that Emma's like telling her just like stories, and because she doesn't know what to do when she's having tea with someone who doesn't speak. And so she is just kind of babbling on and on. She's like, I do read. There, you see, I'm not a complete heathen, not as much as I'd like. The reading, I mean, not the being of a heathen. My vicar might believe me to be one, however, a heathen, not a reader. And she's going on. And then suddenly something in Mrs. Penury's face makes her stop. And then it says she closed her eyes, lifted a hand to cover her face, shuddered as if trying not to burst open, and then snorted. I froze, wondering if I had broken her irrevocably. Mrs. Penury, are you quite all right? Another snort, then a full convulsion of her shoulders as she began to laugh. The woman had been silent for 10 years, but less than 3 minutes in my presence, and she'd crumbled. I was afraid that one more sentence could derail her life of silence altogether. I love that so much. And, speaking of Emma not having a lot of women in her life, I think this is a relationship that we're going to continue to see more of as the volumes go on. So I just think Mrs. Penury, I feel like it's amazing how much she can say without saying anything at all, and how well Beth Brower communicates that to the reader and to, through Emma. Yeah, I just think I love that. And to just take it's not really a vow of silence. She just decided she said everything she had to say in life, and she's done now. So she's not going to talk anymore. Not even say pass the salt or bless you if someone sneezes, nothing, I guess. So, that's intense. That's really intense. Alaris says, all of the women in the books are very strong women in their own ways. I just realized that includes Mrs. Penury. Yes, I 100% agree. So while we don't have a lot of women in Emma's life, I think the ones that we do have who are important to her story, to her world, yes, are all strong in their own ways. And they all, I feel like, give Emma something that she needs that she doesn't have, and whatever that might be. So it feels like we don't need as much from them because they have so much contained within them, and Emma takes that on. So we need to get more of the men's stories because they're a little bit more closed off to us, I feel like. Craft says, I wonder if Mrs. Penury will secretly converse with Emma. Stay tuned and find out. Or, I don't know what's going to happen past volume 8. So, yes, even Agnes. We're starting to see a little bit more of Agnes in this one. And yeah, I like Agnes a lot. I think she's a really fun character. And I think she's one that evolves a lot over the course of the volumes that we have so far. So that's really fun to see. And there's more to come with Agnes. Oh, Megan says, I've read ahead through volume 5 and continue to like Mrs. Penury's character, but yes, I have no idea how you could decide not to speak and how that would work with your spouse. I know Mr. Penury is just sort of, he's just kind of gone along with it. And he's like, well, and I like how, when he has Emma come to his office and he's serving her tea, which is clearly at the behest of his wife. And he's saying, Mrs. Penury wrote him a letter to explain to him how disappointed she was with how he'd handled Emma's affairs. And basically telling him to, do better by her going forward. And she's only done this, a couple of times since she's stopped speaking. And so he knew it was like he was in serious trouble. I just loved all of that. I thought that was fantastic. And I like how he's so different when he was with his wife, when Emma ran into them in the park, than he is when he's in his office. And she's like, am I going to get park, Mr. Penury, or am I going to get office, Mr. Penury? So, Laura says my spouse would probably welcome it. Megan says, Mom, mine too at times. Probably everybody's, right? Everybody's domestic partners of any kind, whoever you live with. Can we all just have a vow of silence for some period of time? But yes, I just feel like that takes a strong will to not say anything at all. I mean, she doesn't even laugh out loud, except this scene with Emma where Emma breaks her. She smiles and she nods, but she doesn't make really any kind of noise. Yikes. She's a tough cookie, Mrs. Penury is. And then we haven't really talked about the Reprobates 10. They make an appearance at the end of this one, quite theatrically, as they are wont to do, when they show up at Emma's house to crown her Eleanor of Aquitaine, and also pilfer her pantry, which has nothing in it, and they're very disappointed that there's no food for them. Then they have to leave. But I like how they're sort of like in they're like a Greek chorus almost, but in a comic way. Like Greek choruses always come in to sort of like move the story along or tell you things that are happening or how to feel about something or what's going on. And I feel like our Reprobates 10 sort of do that in a comical manner. They provide this relief when the story is gotten very intense or something has happened that's major, and then here they come and they just sort of lighten the whole mood. Laura says the Reprobates are a very strange part of the story. I like the Reprobates. I don't know. They're sort of like a cross between, well, like I said, they're sort of a cross between like a Greek chorus and like almost like Sherlock Holmes's irregulars or something, or the band of boys from Oliver Twist, or they've got this sort of very like boyish energy about them. They're a little bit kind of hoodlums, but not in a bad way. They're just they're like good time guys, they're just out to have fun. And they have this it's like a little secret society almost. And I love when they're in church and how much they I can't remember. I don't know how much they've done it in the prior volumes, but there is some like heckling of hawks and stuff that happens. And they're good fun, I feel like. Megan says, yeah, the Reprobates 10 are so fun. They're like an 1800 St. Crispians version of Mischievous Frat Boys. Yes. Exactly. Like there's no ill will behind them. Their intent is just for fun and joy and good times. And there's nothing, even if they maybe, do some things that maybe aren't on the up and up, it's not done with like ill intent, I don't feel like. Unlike maybe Jack, who maybe does do things sometimes with ill intent. Laura says they went to school with hawks. Am I right? Oh gosh. Did they go to school together? I can't remember. Oh my goodness. I can't remember what it says when we first are introduced to them. Because we first meet them at the dinner part, the ball thing or whatever that Emma goes to. Was that in the last volume or volume 2? Now I can't remember. Anyone? Okay, so Megan's saying yes, she thought they did. Okay, so they're all school friends. Yes. Kelly says yes, they did go to school together. So yes, so they're all school chums. So yes, they are like a bit like mischievous frat boys. They get them all together and they're up to no good. But they're well educated mischievous frat boys at least. So or to a degree. But yes, I like that she gets Emma gets crowned Eleanor of Aquitaine. So, and I like how it's really the Reprobates. I mean, I know Hawks is a part of them, but he doesn't really. He's like apart but slightly separate from them. Like he doesn't completely go along with everything they do. Yes. Yes. Laura asked, aren't they the ones who sit in the church? They are. They are the ones that sit in the back row of the church. So yes. And we definitely, we'll see more of them in church as time goes on. But yeah. I think they're there for comic relief, they just, and I think they just add this level of sort of whimsy to the stories, that we get with, but a little bit more grounded in reality than like, the items that go missing and end up at the read and write, or the Roman, the ghost, which are obviously more sort of slightly magical things that are going on in St. Crispians, that also kind of lend some comedy to the books. But I feel like the Reprobates 10 do that, but in a very like physical presence, as opposed to these sort of magical, more kind of ethereal things that are also going on. Oh, interesting, Megan. On a side note, I will say that I listened into a discussion with Beth Brower as part of the Enchanted Book Club by Haley Solano last week, and Brower has an amazing imagination writing process. Oh, that would have been fascinating. Huh. Yeah, I need to do some research and find, if I can find interviews with her online, or anything like that, because I would love to hear her talk about the books and about her process. And you're not surprised she came up with the idea of the Reprobates 10. Oh, what is it about her that doesn't surprise you, that she came up with that idea? Laura says, does Shakespeare have characters like them in his comedies? Oh, definitely. There's always like a merry band of somebody other, like in Much Ado About Nothing. I'm gonna completely blank on names, but they're the guys. They come in and it's always like the acting troupe or somebody, like in A Midsummer Night's Dream, we've got Bottom and all the mechanicals, and they all, they are comic relief, really, and they get up to all kinds of mischief and things like that. So yes, definitely Shakespeare has characters like the Reprobates 10. I mean, not exactly, but that kind of use as a group of people for comedic effect. I mean, again, like I said, it goes back to like Greek plays, often done for tragic reasons there, but then I think Shakespeare also turned that on its head and did it for comedic reasons as well. Kelly says A Midsummer Night's Dream is full of reprobates. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I have acted in that show. I played Puck in high school, and my high school's performance of A Midsummer Night's Dream was very, very fun. But yes, that's Bottom and his gang are hilarious. Okay, Megan says her characters seem to just be talking and interacting in her head at any and all times. If you join the Enchanted Club, you can access old author discussion videos, etc. Oh, I will have to take a look at that. Thank you, Megan. Yeah, I follow Haley on Instagram, but I'm not a member of the Enchanted Book Club, I don't think. Yes, Roland gave Emma Shakespeare's comedies. Yes. I mean, there's definitely both, very pointed literary references in the journals. And there's also, I think, more broad strokes where Beth Brower has taken things from literature and is playing them out throughout the stories. So, I mean, we can sort of even look at Jane Eyre and how that parallels in some ways with Emma's life. I mean, they're both orphans. They've both been taken in by people who don't care about them or have done them wrong. So, and then, certainly Shakespeare. I mean, pretty much any story that's been told, Shakespeare probably told it first. So yes, so many literary references. I mean, some that just I'm sure are completely going over my head too, but I definitely see those threads running throughout the journals. And I think Beth Brower is obviously clearly very well read, and that shows in how much literary references are coming up in these books. And Emma's library, let's see, can you see it now if I do? Oh, there you go. Look, her book library is getting longer as we go along. She's got more than just the one or two she started out with, even though Roland needs to step up his book giving game, because, well, clearly he knows Emma. He knows what she likes, and he just keeps giving her books that she already has. I love how he gives her Jane Eyre, and he can tell clearly that something's wrong when he gives it to her, but then she can't have him take it back. I mean, he had her name embossed on the cover, so clearly she has to keep it. So, oh yes, Laura said the Emerson. Oh yeah, same. I don't know Emerson that well at all. I didn't study Emerson in college, really, just very, very briefly. So I do like that Beth Brower has sort of put in the passages that she thinks are sort of relevant, and I can definitely see how those pertain to the story, but I can't go beyond that, and because I don't know Emerson's work well enough to think about what the bigger meaning of that might be. And certainly the Bible, I mean, I think the Bible is playing a big undercurrent role in the story as well. There's lots of quotes from the Bible, lots of biblical references. So, I think that's definitely at play here also, literarily. Not that this is in any way trying to retell a Bible story or anything like that, but I just think that aspects of the Bible and the stories of the Bible are at work here with the morality of the story and different things that are going on. So, okay, now I'm getting way out of my depth. Also, it's getting close to my dinner time, and so my brain is stopping working because I'm going to need food before too long. So I will dig myself out of the literary hole I just crawled into. But yes, I'm very curious to see. Well, one, I want to know what other books she's going to get added to her library, and what other literary references we're going to see going forward in the upcoming volumes. Oh yeah, and then Kraft says Tennyson made an appearance too when Hawks preached. Yes, I love how sometimes Hawks preaches from the Bible, sometimes he reads poetry, sometimes he does a mashup of both. You just never know what you're going to get. He's such again, another unconventional character for his times, right? But the community of St. Crispians really loves him. Megan, yes. Does anyone else feel like they need to make a list of books that are referenced in this series and create a TBR list based on it? Yes. I started a list. I'm not sure what I did with it, but I need to add to it because, yes, there are definitely so many literary references in here. I'm going to work on that, and then I'll try and get it out. I'm not sure if I'll get it out for this month, but maybe by June, I will get that out maybe into the Discord group, and we can start keeping a running list, and everybody can add to it and let me know. Maybe I'll just create a Google Doc that people can edit, and then that way, if I miss anything, people can add to it. But yes, I really want to keep a list because there are so many references. Yes, Niall gifted her Emerson's Self-Reliance. I don't know anything about that book at all. So yeah, again, my knowledge of Emerson is about that big. Let's see. Let's see. Laura said, oh, Laura, who are you referring to here? He has taken on the job of being Emma's support figure. Let me know who you are referring to. But yes, lots and lots of good literary references. Oh, Niall. Okay. Yes. Niall is absolutely Emma's support figure. I mean, I think he both literally and figuratively holds her up in this entry with Maxwell. And I think it was, there had been up until this point a lot of allusion to Maxwell, but I really feel like we get to know him a little bit in this volume. I mean, clearly we knew he and Emma had a relationship, that he had died, but she hadn't shared a lot of that. And I really feel like we get a much better sense of their relationship in this volume than in any of the prior volumes, and how Emma feels about him. And who is it that she was? Oh, goodness. Oh, because Niall, I think, asks her when he takes her home. Where is that? Of course, now I can't find it. When he takes her home, and he asks her here. I just found it. He asks her if she meant when she said on the train that she couldn't conceive of a life with anyone else. And she says, I don't know. Is a life of friends not sufficiently rewarding? And then Niall says, it can be, but not for you. Dun, dun, dun. See, I think that's one of those moments where we get that sense that there's something going on between Emma and Niall that's more than just friendship. So I think, I don't know that Emma could fairly answer that question in that moment, like just having had her grief all pushed up to the surface. I think it's hard to know your own mind in that moment. But I definitely think Niall was digging for something there. Let's see. I thought Mrs. Penury gave her self-reliance after their reading sprint. Oh, goodness. Was that? Let's see. Well, Pierce gave her Emerson's essays, right? Did Mrs. Penury give her self-reliance? Is that? I can't remember. Sounds possible. I feel like so much gets packed into these slim little books that it's hard for me to remember every single thing that happens, even though I just finished it 2 days ago. It's terrible. Can anyone else confirm? Was it Mrs. Penury that gave her self-reliance? Oh, Kraft said Maxwell's letter was heartbreaking. She stowed it in her drawer under Niall's notes. The past meets the present. Maxwell has entrusted Emma to Niall. Oh, I like that. I like that Maxwell has entrusted Emma to Niall. There does seem to feel like the three of them have like come together in a like their stars have all just crossed. And yeah, like I agree. Like Maxwell is putting Emma into Niall's care, and that the two of them having crossed paths, just kind of adds another element to that. Oh, Gloria says the list at the back says Niall gave her both volumes of Emerson. Oh, that's right. It does tell you. Yes. Okay. Oh, Shakespeare and Comedies by Roland, Jane Eyre by Roland. Yes. Roland, step up your book buying game. So yes, I think that the Maxwell, Niall, Emma connection, I think that adds a little something more than she has with the other three men. Like they somehow feel more connected. I mean, some of it's that they obviously spend more time together because they live in the same building. Especially now that Niall is renting the salon from Emma. And so they have very easy access to one another. But yes, I'm trying not to say too much because I know stuff that you guys haven't read yet. So I don't want to give anything away. But yes. I guess I never shared which team I am on. I'm not sure. I feel like Niall and Islington might be a little bit tied between all of you. As of this moment, when I read volume 4 for the first time, I was definitely Team Niall. Definitely Team Niall. Oh, Ginny says page 79. She gives her a copy. Huh. Oh, I think it was just that Emma had given she had brought her copy of Self-Reliance with her that Niall had gifted her, and she let Mrs. Penury read it. I think that's what's happening in that scene. Because it says she handed me my copy of Self-Reliance. So yes, because Emma brought a book because she wasn't sure what tea would be like with someone who doesn't talk. So she thought maybe they could read, which they did end up doing. So that worked out okay. Yeah. It says, I pulled my Emersons from my reticule, handing Self-Reliance to Mrs. Penury and keeping the book of essays to myself. So, yes. So it was from Niall. She just let Mrs. Penury read it while they were together. But yes, so I'm Team Niall as of volume 4. I may still be Team Niall as of volume 8. You'll have to wait and see. Emerson charades. The most deep game of charades anyone has ever played. Yeah, I think those charades would go over my head. I would probably be terrible. Okay. Is there anything else that happens in this one that we haven't chatted about that anyone wanted to discuss? Oh, this I did just want to we didn't talk a lot. We talked a little bit about Emma being at the Drunken Duck and the whole thing on the stage where she dances. She doesn't really dance. She falls about on the stage, tries not to fall off the stage, doing Jack's dirty work for him. But then I like when she has the conversation with Damien, Arabella's brother, who Damien is a little bit of a black sheep in the family. And which I also wonder if that plays into Aunt Eugenia wanting to make sure that Emma sort of is, is shown her proper place in society. Because I think she feels like her son has let her down in that respect. But I like how because Damien sees her at the Drunken Duck, but she plays it off like it's not her. She sort of turns away from him, but then he questions her when he runs into her, or he comes to the house. He's like, were you at the Drunken Duck? She's like, the Drunken Duck? Why would I be at the Drunken Duck? And she says, imagine me being at the Drunken Duck with a nest in my hair. What would your mother say? She never out and out lies and says, no, it wasn't me. But she does evade his questions in a very wonderfully witty way, which I really liked. So, yes, Jenny, yes, she brought both. So, though I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe Mrs. Penury will give her a book in the future. Who knows? as her library continues to grow. So yes, the deeds for Jack. What will he make Emma get up to next? Oh, Kraft has a favorite Pierce quote upon taking Emma to Maxwell's burial. My friends, do not go to war alone. Yes. Well said, Niall. Yeah, Niall definitely feels like that person that will always have your back, right? He's just loyal till the end, till the bitter, bitter end. He will stand by the side of his friends and never let them down. So, oh, what was the bit about the bracelet? What was that about? The bracelet that she has to give to the guy at the Drunken Duck? Because I think it was Jack and then this sort of gangster guy who are supposed to be feuding, can't be seen together. And so, but they're not really feuding. But Jack needs to get this bracelet. Did the guy, they win a bet or something? I don't know. He has to get this bracelet to the guy. And so that's why Emma has to go to the Drunken Duck, is to get the guy the bracelet, which she does. She does. She fulfills her part. Marilyn asks if she fulfilled her commitment to Jack. No, this was her first. She owes him 2 favors. This is her first. So stay tuned, because favor number 2 is coming. I can't remember which volume though, but it is coming. So you don't have to wait too long. It definitely happens before volume 8. So for those who want more of Jack is coming. You're welcome, Marilyn. Laura says shady dealings with Jack. Jack is by far the shadiest of the male characters, for sure. And Emma is doing her best to keep him away from all of her friends and keep all the people she knows safe from Jack's ne'er-do-wellings. Because yeah, talk about a ne'er-do-well. He's the ultimate bad boy in the books, I do believe. Yes. But he's not like, he's not mean and nasty, you know. I mean, there's something about him that's very engaging and almost endearing, like, you know, that I think we find ourselves drawn to Jack. I mean, I think most bad boys have that. They have some sort of emotional vulnerability that draws people to them. So even though they've got this bad boy persona, there's something about them that, you know, draws us in. Oh, I wondered if Jack was passing stolen goods for fencing. I mean, could be. That's not, I don't think that's the story he told Emma. But he definitely, you know, it's probably not totally on the up and up, I wouldn't think. Oh, and there is another reference to the woman who was wearing orange that Emma, there was a comment in the last volume about that. And she says, I think she sort of makes a little jab at herself about this. She says, I am too kind to cruel people and perhaps a little dismissive of silly young women, a thing I might very well be myself. But honestly, if one is to wear orange, wear it with class. No need to be a spectacle. I'm feeling like Beth Brower has strong feelings about the color orange. I don't know. Kraft says, I think I could fix Jack. That's why women are drawn to bad boys, is because we think we can fix them. That's what that's about, I do believe. Whether they can be fixed or not. Of course, I was going to do another reading sprint, and then the time just got away from me. Well, we'll just wrap it up in another 10 minutes or so. And then feel free to read from 6 to 6:30. I give you permission to not do anything else but read. I have to go make dinner for my family, though. So I said 6 to 6:30, but whatever, 00 to 30, the top of the hour to 30 after, Jen has given you permission to read and do nothing else. I, however, have to make dinner for my family. So yes, love volume 4. Now we're moving on to volume 5. Volume 5 is a little bit longer, not much, but a little bit. Let's see, 246 pages. Volume 4 was how many? I think it was just over 200. Oh no, was it just under? It was 191. Oh, so we get like another 50 pages in this one. That's nice. Yes. And then our live discussion of, I'm just looking at my calendar here real quick. Our live discussion of volume 5 will be on Friday, the 30th. I'm going to be so thrown off because it's already May. Then we're going to have another live. I got it. It's okay. On the schedule. So that will be posted soon on my channel, so that if you want to schedule yourself a little reminder, you can do that, but it'll be same time, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on Friday, May 30th will be our discussion of volume 5. So hopefully you can make it then. I would love to have you here. Oh, and also I wanted to put this out here. If anybody wants to join me here on one of the lives to discuss the volume, I would love to have 1, 2, 3. I think I can have up to 6 people. I think StreamYard, which is the service I use to do the live, I think I can have up to 6 people. I just have the free version. So if anyone's interested, reach out to me. It doesn't have to be for any specific, it doesn't have to be for the upcoming volume. It can be for another one coming up. We have 5, 6, 7, and 8 to get through. But if anyone wants to join me, we can chat and then chat with everyone in the comments. Let me know. I'm always up for having someone with me. I had Rebecca here last month. And so I was kind of thinking it would be fun to do that again and have somebody else with me. Let's see. All right, Crafts. Oh, May 30th was your first date with your husband 48 years ago. Oh, that's wonderful. My first date with my husband was August 10th, I think, or 15th. That's terrible. Now I can't remember. It wasn't 48 years ago, though. It was 15 years ago, maybe. Thank you for coming, Megan. I'm so glad that you were here and that you enjoyed this. Yes, I'm very much looking forward to the next one. And if you're on the Discord group, I was very quiet on Discord this April for no reason other than that things got busy, and then I just kept forgetting to go in there. But there wasn't a ton of discussion, but feel free to go in there. You can chat always throughout the whole month. You don't have to worry a ton about spoilers, I don't think. Just chat about whatever you want if you want to in the Discord group if you are in there. If you're not in the Discord group, I do have the Discord link in my channel information on YouTube, and it's always in the description box of every video I put out. So you can always just go into one of the videos, scroll down, you'll find the link to Discord, and you can find the Emma M. Lion chat. I don't know what Discord calls those things. I am not hip to the lingo. It's like a message board chat group thing. And I have one set up for every volume. So just trying to keep discussions of each volume to within those particular chat threads. Laura says, I enjoy the map found online. Has anyone ever found any artwork like of the neighborhood? There are a couple of Instagram accounts. Let me see. I think there's one called, there's like St. Crispians Society. There is like the Emma, and let me see if I can find it real quick. But there are a few accounts that have done a little bit of art. So I think there is some art out there. There's Emma Lion and Co. I don't know if she has any artwork, but she has an Instagram account. It's just a fan account. Then there is the St. Crispians Society. Which, yes, does have some, like, I don't know if it's AI art. It's a little hard to tell, some of it, but you can take a look at those. So Saint Crispians Society is one, and the Emma Lyon and Co, just CO, those two Instagram accounts, if you want to check them out, have additional stuff that they're sharing there. Kelly, I'm so glad that you finally made it to. Yay! Yes, Shell. Everybody have a very lovely, lovely May. I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead. What's everybody reading this weekend? I shared with you what I'm reading right now. I finished my chapter that I was reading in the corner shop during our sprint, and then I read a few more pages in the correspondent. Loving both of these. This one, there's a character who's just showed up in the corner shop, and she's hilarious. And she's British, and she's driving in Paris, and she really shouldn't be. But yeah, I hope you all have wonderful books to read this weekend, or if you have non-bookish things to do, I hope you have some fun things. I hope the weather is nice where you are. I think it's going to be a little bit cooler. We had some warmer weather earlier this week, but it's going to be a little bit cooler this weekend, which is good because my son has a late afternoon soccer game tomorrow, and I didn't want to be like sweltering in the heat. So I think it'll be actually a pretty lovely day for a soccer game. Let's see. What's everyone reading? Oh, Megan's reading Betsy's Wedding. I love. Well, if you just saw my Shop and Unhaul video that came out today, I had a bunch of my Betsy Tacy books in that, which I've read all the Betsy Tacy books. I've read them all as a kid, but I haven't reread them all as an adult, and it's been so long. So I have them on my unread shelves just so that they are in a prominent position and I don't forget that I want to reread them. But oh, Betsy's Wedding is so lovely. Oh, Kimberly's reading The Comfort of Crows. Oh, I need to read that. That's another book I need. Oh, so many books, so little time. How are you? Have you started it, Kimberly? Are you enjoying it? From Dune with Death by Ruth Rendell. Ooh, I haven't read Ruth Rendell in a really long time. Some of her books are, is this a little bit darker? Some of her books are a little darker. Thank you, Laura. I'm so glad you made it. Gloria's reading Strong Poison. Excellent. Lord Peter, always a good choice. Let's see. Again, yes, check out my video. So I have the bind ups of, they've got like 2 of the Betsy Tacy books in each bind up. So let's see. Kelly is reading The Girls in the Garden by Lisa Jewell. Oh, I haven't read a Lisa Jewell in quite a few years. I listened to one by her that was read by Joanne Froggatt from Downton Abbey. She's Anna on Downton Abbey. I could not stop listening. I was like making dinner. I was just like, I couldn't take my earbuds out. I was just engrossed in it. The Book Club of Troublesome Women. Who's that by, Marilyn? Oh, that title sounds so familiar, but I'm blanking on the author of that. My favorite S&M, Don Quixote. I've never read Don Quixote. Yeah, that's a commitment. That one is. Good luck with Don Quixote. Cheryl's reading Welcome to the Hunum Dong Bookshop. Oh, I just on Independent Bookstore Day, Libro FM was having a sale on some audiobooks, and so I bought a few to support my local independent bookstore, and that was one of the audiobooks I purchased. So I am looking forward to that. Let me know what you think. I've heard really good things about it. Empire of Grass. I read a lot of traditional fantasy. Who's the author of Empire of Grass, Laura? My husband reads a lot of sci-fi fantasy. That's why I ask. Oh, you're halfway through spring. Are you enjoying it? Is it good? I've heard such great things about it. I might read it this fall, I think. That book club book is, Marie Bostwick. Thank you. That's who wrote that book. Yes. Teresa, I'm so glad you're enjoying Emma so far. Yay. Enjoy. She's so much fun. It just gets better as it goes along. Oh yes, Tad Williams. Oh, he's a this is my hand gesture for how big a book is. It's a chunky book writer. Having worked in bookstores, I'm familiar. I think it's because this is how I shelve books, right? You shelf a book like this. I did a lot of that in my bookstore working days. And so how big is the book? It's, it's like, can I do it with 2 fingers? Do I need my whole hand to put it on the shelf? Yes, those are definitely books that is one thing that's nice about Kindle, right? When you have like a giant book, like when I have The Eighth Life by, who is it by? Nino Haratish Shili something. I just butchered the last name. Apologies. But The Eighth Life is like gigantic. I don't know. Like, it would be nice to have it on Kindle, but I don't. I wonder if my library has it on ebook and then I could read it on my Kindle if I ever get to it. We'll see. Okay, let's see. Oh, Kimberly says, oh, it's interesting. This is The Comfort of Crows. Not what I expected. I think I like the artwork more than the writing. Interesting. Okay. All right. We'll have to see what I think when I get to it. She says, Emma is great, and I have my sisters hooked on the books too. We're sharing volumes. Oh, that's excellent. I love that you are sharing Emma in your family. That's fantastic. Oh, Marilyn, I'm starting the 3rd Amazon and Swallows tomorrow. Oh, yay, Marilyn. That's right, because you got that whole lot, right, of the Swallows and Amazon series of books. Fantastic. I really want to read more of those. I loved that book. It was so much fun. Actually, I just, not too long ago, I got a Persephone book. It's called The Children Who Live in the Barn, I think, something like that. And it's a middle grade. And one of my subscribers said that it's very similar in tone to Swallows and Amazon. So now I'm even more excited to read it. So I'm like, oh, the sun is coming in again, giving me stripes. There we go. Oh, Wendy is reading An Arc of Perfect by Kimberly Keegan. Oh, I don't know that one or that author. Well, I hope it's good. Stuart Little and a book about Mary Shelley. I love Mary Shelley. I want to read I'm going to blank on the title of it. There is a book about Mary Shelley and Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. Again, the title has just gone out of my head, but it's a nonfiction, and I've heard it's fantastic, and I would love to read that book. I love Frankenstein. I studied it in college when I took my Gothic novel course. And then I've also read Vindication of the Rights of Women by Mary Shelley, and I studied her in college a little bit too. So I just think they're both fascinating women, and I would love to know more about them. So got to get my hands on that book at some point. But Stuart Little, all the love for Stuart Little and all things E.B. White. So enjoy that. Is it your first time reading Stuart Little, Teresa? Because such a joy. Charlotte's Web, Stuart Little, Trumpet of the Swan, fantastic kids' books. Everybody should read them, even if you're not a kid. They're just great books. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here, for coming to the live, for chatting all things Emma M. Lyon, Volume 4. We'll be back in 28 days, and we will talk about Volume 5. It matches my sweater. I didn't even notice that. So thank you guys so much. Until then, I will see you in the Discord group or on YouTube or wherever else it is that I run into all of you in the online world. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.